Hello everyone, I am Ashish and welcome back to the channel Coders Academy. Today we are diving into something really exciting. OpenAI just released a brand new GPT model that is open source. You heard it right, open source. That means you, me and your favorite uncle who still thinks Ask Jeeves is the future, any of us can tinker with it anytime. But what makes this model special? Why are all the AI geeks dancing right now? Stick with me as I unravel this tale, complete with 2 demos, especially in this video. It's 2025 and AI is everywhere, writing poems, generating memes, or solving mathematical problems. OpenAI decides it's time for a new chapter and releases a new GPT model that is open source, bigger and faster than any of its peers. But what makes this model stand out? 3 properties. Cutting edge reasoning. This model solves the puzzles at lightning speed. We will experience that firsthand in one of our demos. 2. Custom training. You can fine-tune the model to your specific problem domain. Chemistry equations, physics problems, or mathematical problems. You name it. 3. Truly open source. It's not some trial version of a model, but it's a model that you can fork it, break it, make it, and remake it, exactly like Linux style. So let's go through the model parameters which are released on the Hugging Face portal. So I've gone to Hugging Face, welcome OpenAI GPT OSS. So here you can read the details about the new model, GPT OSS, that's the name they have given. It's a powerful reasoning model for agentic tasks and versatile developer use cases, and they have released 2 versions of it. One is a bigger version with 117 billion parameters, and the other one is a smaller one with 21 billion parameters. Now both are mixture of experts and uses 4-bit of quantization. So this quantization basically allows you to have a smaller memory footprint, and it also speeds up the inference process. That's what they have written here, enabling the faster inference because of a smaller number of active parameters at a given point of time and keeping the resources low. The large model fits into a single H100 GPU while the smaller one runs on a 16 GB of memory. So if you have a very powerful laptop or a desktop machine with this much memory, I think you should be able to run the smaller model, perhaps even on your mobile phones if it has this kind of a memory capacity. Further down, it's been released in the Apache 2 license, so which means that it is truly open source and you can use it for your development, trial or production use cases. If you come further down, you see it's a reasoning and text only models, so multi-model is not supported right now. OpenAI recommends us to use the responses API and not the chat completions API. So if you want to interact with any of these LLM models, there are 2 primary mechanisms via which you can do that. One is via using the chat completions API in Python, and second is the responses API. OpenAI recommends us to use the second approach. Let's talk a little bit about the architecture. So we know that it is a mixture of experts and it uses SwiGLU activation. Now if you have watched my videos before, especially the Kimi K2 model that was released a few weeks ago by the Chinese companies Moonshot AI, that model was also making use of SwiGLU activation functions. Okay, so recently what I have seen is many of those models that are released making use of SwiGLU activation function instead of ReLU and some other activation mechanisms that are there. When calculating the MOE weights, it uses softmax. So softmax is also one of the activation functions that it is making use of for selecting the experts. Now each attention layer uses a rope. Now rope, what is rope? So whenever you enter into a transformer architecture in the attention mechanism, just before the attention happens, there is something called as rotatory positional encoding. That is one of the first steps before you enter into an attention layer, and that is what they are using here, ROPE. So further down, it uses the same tokenizer scheme as GPT-4o. So I'm not sure about what is the tokenization mechanism used in GPT-4o. I know that there are 2 of them. one is byte pair encoding and the second is sentence piece. So maybe one of those or some modification of those two will be incorporated. But something important has been written after that is some new tokens have been incorporated to enable the compatibility with the responses API. So they have given some details below this. We might have to go into the depths of what those additional tokens are. Further down, if you scroll, you can see how we can access the APIs through different inference providers. Okay. So here is the example that they have given here using Python code and chat completions. So this is the example that I was stating earlier. And here is the example where responses API can be used from the Python code to interact with the new OSS model. Okay. So here is the name of the OSS model we give. Here is the input prompt, and here is the OpenAI client that you create. There are different local inferences you can use. You can use the transformers. You can make use of flash attention. Some other forms of optimizations are given. AMD support. How can you use it in the Llama CPP inference? Then VLLM inference. Fine tuning example has been provided, so which is good. So a LoRa example with OpenAI cookbook. So here is an example of how you can fine tune using this model and how you can deploy it on the Hugging Face partners. It has come directly with the support with all the cloud providers, like Azure is there, Dell is there. Then I have also read somewhere that it has provided support to Databricks as well as Snowflake. So the model has already been released on these cloud platforms before making it available to everyone. Chat and chat templates. You can scroll through this and go through the details. We will directly jump into the demo now. In the first demo, I have an IIT JEE problem here with a point P moving in a triangular direction with some conditions. We have to find out the locus of that point. So with this model, it has instantly given me a response at the speed of 1755 tokens per second. That is insane. The thought process took less than 1 second. It has given a step-by-step evaluation of this problem statement, where it has tried to find out the intersection, the equations, the area of the triangle, and the vectors that forms OP and OQ. So the total speed was 1755 TPS. That's insanely fast in my opinion. We are using the Cerebras inference in this particular video demo today. Now let's try this particular problem statement with the Qwen 3 coder model, which was again recently released by the Alibaba group. So let's give the this model a try. Same problem statement, same prompt with the Qwen 3 model. Okay, this gave a speed of 1609 TPS, again very fast, but not as fast as the new GPT model by OpenAI. It has given us the same equation where x square plus y minus y square is 40, and this has been the total speed. Let's give it a try with the DeepSeek model, and same prompt. Okay, again, oh wow, this is insanely fast. In fact, this is the fastest among the all three we tried today. The total TPS was 2134 tokens per second. It was able to decipher the answer instantly, and x square minus y square is equal to 40. So among all the three, I think DeepSeek was the most high speed model in my opinion today. In our second demo, I am asking the prompt and the model to create a new numbering system for the year 2025. So let's try with the GPT model. Here is our response. It has created a new numbering system. It's called as Neo Hexa Quantum, and the total speed was 1551 TPS, and it comprises of the digits 0 to 9 and alphabets A to G, and here is the representation of those alphabets and numbers. Further down, it has given us a conversion between one numbering system to the other, along with the examples of the operations. Now here, how to convert an NHQ into decimal, that example has been given. Then some basic arithmetic operations in the NHQ numbering system, An interesting example, interesting interpretation by the model. You can pause the video and go through the details about how the calendar conversion and date conversions happen using this particular numbering system from GPT model. Total speed was 1551 TPS. Now let's try the same prompt with the Qwen3 coder. Submit. So here it has given us a new numbering system called Quantum 25. The speed is 1184 tokens per second. So which is still okay, but less than the new model. Here it is comprising of 25 symbols, 0 to 9 digits, and then some more alphabets. So there is a different interpretation to the numbering system by the Qwen model. So you can pause the video and go to those interpretations here. What are the positional values for the different numbers there? 25 raised to 0, 25 raised to 3, and so on and so forth. And then how do we convert one particular numbering system to the other numbering system? So some operations have been given here as examples. And then how do we read the number from bottom to top? So an interesting problem, an interesting interpretation by the Qwen3 model. You can pause the video, go through the details. Now let's try finally the same prompt in the DeepSeek model. Okay, and here is our response. The model has given us the speed of 1227 tokens per second. I think this is second in after the OpenAI. OpenAI was, I think, 1551. Let's check one more time. Yeah, it was 1551 TPS. Then DeepSeek gave us 1267 something, and then Qwen gave us 1164 something like that, right? Yeah, so let's see the response once. So here the numbering system has a base 20 structure, and it's called as Viginti25. Interesting name, very creative in nature. In this numbering system, you have 20 distinct symbols for digits. The representation of the digits is given 0 to 9, 10 to 19, with some examples of the arithmetic operations under the new numbering system given by DeepSeek R1. You can pause the video and go through this. So what does it mean for mortals like us? With this move, OpenAI has just raised the bar for creativity, accessibility, and reasoning. If you want to see more such wild AI experiments, give a thumbs up to this particular video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notifications bell. Until then, bye-bye.